Hey guys, Surgeon here, and welcome to a new video. So like the last video I did where we went into further detail with warding, today we're going to do kind of the same thing, but we're going to talk about the Kebos Lowlands instead. And this is basically the expansion to Zaya that they were talking about at RuneFest. And so as you can see on the map here, the Kebos Lowlands is here at the top. It's right to the north of where Raids 1 is, and it's to the west of the Shazian and Lovekinch houses. And so you have the Mount Karolum, or whatever that's called. I don't know. It sounds like Mount Doom. And then below that, you have more of a foresty area, and I can't read that because I have terrible eyesight. But you also have Brimstone, which is like the main kind of like focal town of the northern area, and that's going to be close to where the new Slayer dungeon is, but we'll get into that in a minute. So, what does the Kebos Lowlands have to offer? Well, they have the farming guild to offer, which is pretty dandy. The farming guild is a new guild found in the Kebos Lowlands. The guild is separated into 3 large greenhouses, where each one acts as a different tier for the guild. The first tier requires 45 farming to enter, the second 65, and the third 85. Entering the guild requires 60% Hasidius favor. It is possible to use stat boost to enter the guild areas. So, really cool that they're implementing it at 45 farming. That's a very, very low level for most guilds. I think it's the lowest requirement. No, I think crafting has it beat. I can't remember. I think crafting is like 40 crafting, but still very low level requirement to enter, but also high tier rewards as well, which is awesome. So let's get into the breakdowns of it. The first tier, the 45 farming tier, there will be a guild master that provides the background on the guild. There will be a bank with a poll booth and a deposit box, an equipment shop that stocks the same supplies as Vanna's farm store, with the exception that it also sells empty plant pots alongside the filled ones, a seed shop, and it offers the same stock as the Dreener seed market. So for those of you Iron Men trying to get your seeds for like birdhouses, here's another place that you could get them. The garden supplier, it offers the same stock as the Falador Garden Center. There's a water source, a large compost bin. It has double the capacity of a normal one. There is a cactus patch. It's identical to the Alcarade cactus patch, and there's a farmer who will look after the patch. There's an allotment, herb, and flower patch. Usual allotment setup, so you've got 2 allotments, an herb, and a flower patch. There's a bush patch and a tool leprechaun. The second tier, there's a water source, a tree patch, a Hespori patch. When this patch finishes growing, it can be fought as a basic demi-boss fight with various rewards. There's also an anima patch, a new patch with worldwide effects depending on what is grown, and of course a tool leprechaun. The third tier, which requires 85 farming, is a bank, a water source, a fruit tree patch, a spirit tree patch, a redwood patch, a celestris patch, and a tool leprechaun. So pretty good overall for that third tier. So moving on to farming contracts. Within the farming guild, you will also find the chief contractor. The chief contractor can assign players with contracts that require the player to grow certain crops within the farming guild in exchange for seed packs. There are 3 tiers of contracts available, 1, 2, and 3. Each contract offering is restricted based on what you can grow, with access to tier 1, 2, 3 of farming guild respectively. There are new patches with the farming guild, and blah 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 blah. The demi boss, which is in the Hespori patch, which requires 65 farming. The Hespori patch is a new patch unique to the second tier of the farming guild. The only thing that can be grown here is a Hespori plant. The seeds for this plant can be randomly found while harvesting other plants. This can be toggled by talking to an NPC near the patch or by completing farming contracts. There's an NPC here who will look after the plant while it grows for a price. Once the patch is fully grown, the Hespori can be fought as a solo demi-boss. Killing the Hespori boss grants farming experience. It has a loot table of seeds, including the unique white lily seed, alongside being the only way for players to gather untradeable anima seeds. The Hespori also has a chance of dropping the bottomless compost bucket, which can hold up to 1 million compost of any kind. The Hespori is instanced with an item reclaim service that works identical to other grave systems like the Grotesque Guardians, Zora, and Vorkath, and only one can be utilized at any time. This means that any other graves will be wiped on death. So a little bit more about the bottomless compost bucket. It can be filled with regular, super, or ultra compost. It can only have one type of compost inside it, so you can't do like 999,000 of regular and then fill the last 100 with ultra and say, oh, it's ultra. Each compost used gives the bucket 2 charges of that kind of compost. Emptying the bucket will cause all compost stored within to be lost. When used on a patch, the bucket uses 1 charge of the current filled compost. The bucket can hold a maximum of 10,000 charges. The bucket is tradable when empty. Seems pretty good. Each compost used gives the bucket 2 charges of that kind of compost. So if I use like 10 buckets of ultra compost on it, it'll give me 20 charges of ultra compost. Okay, that's pretty dandy. So let's talk about the anima patch, because this is kind of a weird, unique thing, but I kind of like it. Requires 76 farming. The anima patch is a new unique system, blah, 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 blah. Has 3 different types of seeds. The Addis seeds, when planted, these grow into the Addis plant. The plant provides yield to all other patches in the game. The laser seeds, or laser seeds, when planted, these grow into the laser plant. This plant decreases the disease chance for all other patches in the game. Or the Chronos seeds. When planted, these grow into the Chronos plant. The plant increases the speed at which the other patches grow by providing a chance, that's important, a chance to skip a growth stage. These plants are active as soon as they are planted, and rather than grow over time, they begin to die through their various growth stages. Plants will last approximately 3.5 days until they die and will require planting again to reap their benefit. So that's kind of unique. Instead of having to wait for it to grow, you plant it and it's automatically grown and it slowly dies over time. Okay, then we have the Salacious patch, which requires 85 farming. It's a new patch, unique to the 3rd tier. Once it's fully grown, which is 16 hours, the same as a fruit tree, it can be harvested for a tradable resource, Salacious wood, which can be turned into battle staves with 40 fletching. The amount of Salacious wood harvested from a fully grown Salacious patch is random, much like the way harvesting herbs works, with a minimum number of lives to ensure a guaranteed amount each harvest. There's a redwood patch which requires 90 farming. It's unique to the 3rd tier once fully grown, which is 85.3 hours, the same time as a mahogany tree. The redwood patch turns into a redwood tree, which can be cut down for logs and wood cutting experience. The redwood patch is relatively close to a bank found within the 3rd tier of the Farming Guild. And finally, the large compost bin, which requires 45 farming. It's in the Farming Guild, so you need to be able to enter the Farming Guild. It works the same as any other compost bin, but has the added benefit of being able to store double the usual amount of compost. Some existing patch improvements is that we're going to have dragon fruit trees at 81 farming, so a new tier of fruit trees. The seeds are tradable and rarely obtained through nests. Dragon fruit trees have the same growth time as other fruit trees and give the following farming experience: 140 XP for planting, 17,335 for checking the health, and 70 for harvesting. Harvesting dragon fruit tree gives you dragon fruit, a new food item that can either be eaten to heal 10 hit points, or they can be baked into dragon fruit pies at 73 cooking. Dragon fruit pies yield 10 points per serving and provide a temporary fletching boost of +4. In addition to a useful stat boosting food, 10 dragon fruit can be squeezed into a vial to make a bottled dragon breath. This can be used to fully charge the dragon fire shield and similar shields instantly. So that's a pretty neat addition, to be able to just like pour something over it and charge it. There's also the white lily at 58 farming. It can grow into flower patches. The seeds are only dropped by the Hespori and gives the following farming experience: 42 XP for planting and 250 for harvesting. When fully grown, a flower patch with white lily in it will protect all types of crops in an adjacent allotment patch. So once you have this planted, you basically never need to remove it because it will always protect all your other things. Potato cacti at 64 farming, which can be grown in cactus patches around Gielinor. And then we'll also have snapegrass seeds at 71 farming, which can be planted into allotment patches all around Gielinor. It takes 70 minutes to grow fully and give the following farming experience: 82 XP for planting and 82 for harvesting, which is pretty cool. Also, something else to note, with the introduction of these seeds, the potato cacti and the snapegrass will be removed from the Nightmare Zone shop. Okay, let's talk about Brimstone. So there's a lot of stuff on Brimstone, a lot for PVMers out there, so let's get through it. New Slayer Master, Konar. He gives 18 Slayer reward points for each task that you complete. Requires 75 combat. Does not look like he has a Slayer level requirement, which is kind of weird, but okay. His main quirk is that you slay in a specific area, so you would be told to go kill Necryles in the Slayer Tower, or go kill Kurasks in the Slayer Caves. They have in addition to their normal loot, there's also a chance that you'll have a chance to roll on a unique drop table specific to these kind of tasks. Generic loot will mean like a slight increase to your profits, including like food or like potions to sustain your task. There's also a rare chance of getting the new unique drop, which is a one-handed dragon hasta, which is basically like a one-handed dragon spear, is the best way that I can put it for y'all. There's also going to be Boots of Stone sold from Slayer Masters. They're going to cost 200 GP and they require 44 Slayer to equip, and they're needed to go inside the Brimstone Slayer dungeon. If you don't have these boots equipped, you'll take repeated damage until you manage to put them on. Their defense stats are not that great. It's just 1 to stab, crush, and slash, and nothing anywhere else. There's going to be a lot of new Slayer creatures coming in with this update. And there's going to be Sulfur Lizards at 44 Slayer. So should this update go through with the Sulfur Lizards, instead of being assigned Desert Lizards, you would be assigned Lizards instead and have the choice between killing either or. At 62 Slayer, you have the Worm, which is assigned by Duradale, Neve, Cheldar, and Konar. Worms have a very rare chance to drop the Dragon Sword and Dragon Harpoon. If this update does pass, both the Dragon Sword and Harpoon will be removed from the Chambers of Zarek loot table. And we'll have the Drakes at 84 Slayer, which will be assigned by Duradel, Neve, and Konar. They do not fly and use both melee and ranged attacks. Drakes have a chance to drop their claws and teeth, both of which are attachments for boots. A Drake Claw can be combined with Boots of Stone to create the Boots of Brimstone. This process cannot be undone. Boots of Brimstone requires 70 defense, magic, range, and 44 Slayer to equip. Their stats are as follow. Attack bonuses are 3 to stab, 3 to magic, and 5 to ranged. And their defense bonuses are 10 to stab, slash, crush, and 5 to magic and ranged. No other bonuses. The Drake Tooth can be combined with Holy Sandals to create the tradable Devout Boots. This process cannot be undone, and the Devout Boots require 60 prayer to equip and are considered an item of Saradomin inside the God Wars. The bonuses for this is only plus 5 to prayer, and the only special effect is that they are considered a Saradomin item. The most anticipated Slayer monster is the Hydra at level 95 Slayer. It's the highest level requirement for Slayer that we have. These are only assigned by Konar, and they use both range and magic attacks, and they have a chance to drop 3 untradeable ring pieces and a Hydra tail, which is an attachment for the Dragon Bone necklace. The Eye of the Hydra, the Fang of the Hydra, and the Heart of the Hydra, when combined, these pieces form the tradable Brimstone ring. The ring has no requirements to equip and has a 25% chance with each spell cast to ignore 10% of your opponent's total magic defense. So the attack bonuses for this are as follows: 4 to stab, slash, and crush, 6 to magic, and 4 to ranged. And for defense bonuses, the exact same. Other bonuses, there's a plus 4 to melee strength, and the special effect is what I just said. The Hydra Tail, when combined with the Dragon Bone necklace and a Bone Crusher, it forms the untradeable Bone Crusher necklace, and the necklace requires 80 prayer to equip and gives both of the effects. The necklace must be equipped for 9 seconds to gain the bonus of it, so you can't just swap it on as soon as something dies. You have to have it on while you're killing it. The necklace is charged with Ecta tokens, as the Bone Crusher is, done the same way. And the effect of the Bone Crusher also applies when the Bone Crusher necklace is in your inventory. This is reversible if you do it. The only bonuses this gives you is the plus 12 to prayer bonus. Finally, we have a new Slayer boss called the Alchemical Hydra. It has the same requirement as a normal Hydra. It will be assigned exclusively by Konar and can be fought as part of a Hydra Slayer task or a boss task. Again, only Konar can assign that. It will not be an easy opponent. It has the chance to drop Ferocious Gloves, a Hydra Claw, which is an attachment for the Zamora Costa, all of the Hydra drops, as well as a pet. The Ferocious Gloves are a new tradable pair of gloves for offensive melee, and they require 70 defense to equip. Attack bonuses are plus 16 to stab, slash, and crush, with a negative 16 to mage and range, and also gives you plus 14 to melee strength. These are better than Barrow's Gloves in terms of melee. There's also the Hydra Claw, which is, when combined with the Zamorakian Hasa, becomes the tradable Dragon Hunter Lance. This process cannot be undone. The Lance requires 70 attack to equip and has the added effect of 20% increased accuracy and damage against dragon creatures, though it loses its defense capabilities during its creation. So that is 10% less than the Dragon Hunter crossbow, but I could still see this being a very, very strong alternative to killing dragons. The special attack does not have a special attack. It does have that special effect of a 20% increased accuracy. Attack bonuses are as follows: 85 to stab, 65 to slash and crush, and has a 70 plus to your melee strength, as well as an attack rate of 4. Additional drops, alongside the individual drops mentioned above, you'll have a chance to receive dragon knives and thrown axes from worms, drakes, hydras, and the alchemical hydra. If this passes, the thrown axes will be removed from the Raids 1 drop table. And dragon knives are tradable and require 60 range to equip and can be poisoned. They have a special attack called Duality, which costs 25% special attack energy and causes 2 knives to be thrown at once, each with their own accuracy and damage rolls. So not like Dragon Claws, where your second hit of your Dragon Claw spec is based off of your first hit. Both of these attacks have their own separate rolls, kind of like the Magic Shortbow. There are also unique bones being released, so each of the new monsters inside the Slayer dungeon will have their own bones besides the lizards. So Worm Bones will offer 30 prayer, Drake Bones offer 60, and Hydra will offer 90. And the Alchemical Hydra will also drop those bones as well. They can be used on Gilded Altars and the Ectofuntus. That's it for the Brimstone Slayer dungeon, so now on to aerial fishing. So aerial fishing, you can think falconry, but for fishing. So let's go and get into this. A catch is guaranteed for each time the bird is sent. The pools of fish move in somewhat frequent rates, around 7 to 12 seconds. Multiple people can catch from the same pool. We'll see people fishing from all sides of the circular island. If the bird is sent whilst the pool is moving to a new location, it still counts as a successful catch. King worms are used as starting bait, which can be gathered on the island. When the player starts to catch fish, they can cut the fish into stackable fish chunks. The bird will take 1 chunk every 3 to 6 catches as a reward for gathering the fish. There are 4 types of catch to be found in Lake Mulch. There's bluegill at 43 fishing and 35 hunter, common tench at 56 fishing and 51 hunter, mottled eel, which will require 73 fishing and 68 hunter, the greater siren at 91 fishing and 87 hunter. Mulch pearls can be fished from Lake Mulch while fishing using the aerial fishing. There's a 1 in 150 chance of being fished up on a successful catch, and they are stackable and can be traded into the angler and his pearl store for various untradable rewards. So there's the equipable fishing rod at 100, equipable fly fishing rod at 120, the equipable barbarian fishing rod at 150. This can only be purchased if you actually know how to use it, and the fish sack at 1,000 mulch pearls. There's also the golden tench. In addition to your expected catch when fishing with your cormorant, I don't know how to say that, there's a very slim chance that it will return with an extremely rare golden tench. This is a fish that can be equipped in the hand and has no stats, and it is not tradable. Player wearing the golden tension fish sack, the golden tension is an extremely rare reward from the aerial fishing. It has no stats and is not tradable and is purely cosmetic. That's what it looks like. At 43 fishing and 35 hunter, you could expect to earn 17k fishing experience, 25k hunter, and 5k cooking. The cooking is only if you end up cutting the fish. And at 99 in fishing and hunter, you can expect approximately 60k fishing, 80k hunter, and 15k cooking experience. Again, only if you're cutting it. I don't see that really outclassing anything, considering that, max hunter rates, you can get upwards, like way above that. And then fishing rates, if you end up 3-ticking fishing, again, you can get upwards in to the 90, almost 100k rates. So I don't see this overtaking it. It's purely for people who want to multitask while they're training things, but I don't think this will become meta for anything, considering generally the meta for Iron Man is that you want to hunt all your chins and then use your chins to get 99 range, so I don't see this overtaking anything. My favorite portion of this is the new diary. So to complete the Karen and Kebos achievement diary, you'll need to meet the following level requirements: 25 construction, 30 crafting, 40 fletching, 42 mining, 49 thieving, 50 fire making, 77 rune crafting, 82 fishing, 84 cooking, 85 farming, 90 magic, 90 wood cutting, and the highest Slayer requirement of all, 95 Slayer. We can assume that the 95 Slayer is to either kill the alchemical Hydra or to kill the normal Hydra. But those are the requirements, or the level requirements. We do not know anything about the quest requirements for this, but that is that. The rewards for this, you'll be getting various types of Rada's Blessing, which is upgrade for each tier. The diary completed, pretty similar to other diary rewards. So for the easy rewards, you'll have the Blessing 1, it gives no stat bonuses, 3 daily teleports to the Karen Woodland, and a 2% chance to catch 2 fish at once. No XP is given for the additional catch. You also have a 2500 XP lamp, half the access cost for Crabclaw Island, so it'll be 5k I believe to enter, and double drop rate of the Xerx's Talisman. Upon completion of the medium diaries, you'll get the Blessing 2. It gives +1 prayer bonus, 5 daily teleports to the woodlands, and a 4% catch to or 4% chance to catch 2 fish. 7,500 XP lamp, free access to Crab Claw Island, 5% chance to mine 2 dense essence blocks at once, which is pretty broken. It's pretty cool. 20 free dynamite a day from Theorist, and the rewards from the previous diary tiers. Hello, cat. Are you okay? Just gonna walk through the middle of my video. Get the fuck out of here. On to the hard diaries. You'll get Rada's Blessing 3, +1 prayer bonus, unlimited teleports to the Karen Woodlands, 3 daily teleports to Brimstone, and a 6% chance to catch 2 fish at once. 15,000 XP lamp, ability to combine a Slayer helmet with a Shazian helmet 5 by talking to Captain Cleve. So you can use your Slayer helmet on a Lizardman task, so you can get the benefits of the full Shazian gear. 5% increased yield from the Hesidious and Farming Guild herb patches. 40 free diamond from Theorist, and the rewards from the previous tiers. And finally, the Elite Corinne and Kebos Achievement Diary. You'll get Rada's Blessing 4, a +2 prayer bonus, which is the highest prayer bonus in the quiver slots, higher than any other blessing in the game. Unlimited daily teleports to Karen Woodlands, unlimited daily teleports to Brimstone, and an 8% chance to catch 2 fish at once. Great for Iron Man if you're trying to catch up some monkfish or shark. 50,000 XP lamp, pretty standard. 20 Slayer points from completing Slayer tasks with Konar Quomanon, up from 18. I believe that's the highest in the game now, besides Wilderness. 10% reduced burn chance of the city kitchens, which is up from 5%. 80 free dynamite from Theorist, and everything else. I'm stoked. I've been wanting a new diary for so long. Please, for the love of God, guys, please pass this. I want this so bad. Okay, moving on to 2 lesser tiers, or lesser announcements. We have 2 new quests. They're novice level quests. We have the Forsaken Tower, which is the Loverkenge house quest. And the requirements for this will be Client of Karen and 20% Loverkenge favor. And then we'll also have the Ascent of Arceus. And the rewards for this the requirements for this will be Client of Karen to 1200 and 20% Arceus favor. This is obviously the quest for the Arceus house. The purpose of them putting up the last 2 house quests is to proceed forward with their quest line for Zaya itself. They want to continue building on the storyline of the Client of Karen when we first came to Zaya and we had the old man get possessed. They want to further that storyline, and they have to go through this first. And that is it for the Kebos Lowlands. Very, very, very in-depth. There's a lot of stuff. You can look at my scroll bar, or actually you can't right now, but there's a lot of shit here. A lot of stuff. And it's all pretty hypey. I'm pretty excited about most of this, but that's going to be it for everything that we know about the Kebos Lowlands at the moment. I'm going to go into my opinions on this, so if you just wanted the info, get the fuck out. We don't need you here. But if you want to hear my opinions, let's go, schmucks. All right, so Achievement Diaries. Fuck yes. Let's do it. Achievement Diaries, I am so on board for this. Please, for the love of God, give me this. The unlimited teleports to Brimstone and the unlimited teleports to the Karen Woodlands. Awesome. I love it. You get an extra 5% yield from the Hesidious farm. So not only do you have a disease-free patch if you have 100% favor, but now you also get 5% extra, which is dope. You're doubling the reduction of your burn chance at the city kitchens when you have them all completed, which is super cool. 20 Slayer points from a Karen task. That's super nice. The free dynamite, that's not really that big a deal. Dynamite's super cheap, and if you're using blast mine, do you really need it? So I don't really consider it that good. But the actual equipment, the blessing, is super cool. That's best in slot melee ammo slot. And the fact that the best in slot, I don't know how people are going to feel about that though, because that is a little weird that the best in slot melee and sometimes range if you're using a blowpipe. Yeah, just the best in slot ammo slot is a reward from Elite Achievement Diaries. I don't know how people are going to feel about that. Yeah, it's only 1 prayer bonus, but again, best in slot is best in slot. So I don't know. We'll have to see, but I want that so bad. So bad. That looks so nice. Aerial fishing, I think it'll pass. There's no real reason why it shouldn't. It's not going to make anything. It's not going to take over the meta, I don't think. You can get better rates than this by doing everything independently, and those rates will make up for it. Like, yeah, you could argue the opportunity cost of, well, you're training two at the same time. Yes, but if I can train double this hunter experience, I'm gonna far outweigh that. So if I can get 160k hunter experience just training hunter by itself, then I'm really not losing anything. It's kind of the way to look at it, because basically you would get 160k hunter experience, so you would get 99 hunter twice as fast as if you were doing this, which would leave you with, half the amount of time to go get fishing, and then your fishing rate is also higher. With 3-tick fishing, you could get, 90k experience an hour, or 100k. I'm not sure on 3-tick rates, but you can get higher. So just independently, all the rates are faster, and that cooking experience rate is a fucking joke. But I like it. I do like it. It spices up fishing, and it's going to be good for people who want to multitask and train two skills at the same time. Yeah, I think it's just it'll be fine. Good lord, the Slayer caves. There is a lot here. What do I think won't pass? If you can imbue the Brimstone ring, this won't pass. It just won't. It'll be way too fucking strong. It'll make everything else irrelevant. Besides that, ferocious gloves, I could see not passing because people are too hung up about, oh, but Barrow's gloves are best in slot. Well, Barrow's gloves are still going to be best in slot for hybriding. Like, unless you want to throw in another switch for your Tormented Bracelet and your ferocious gloves. Like, I don't see people doing that. Like, I still see Barrow's gloves being a very viable thing. I mean, look at Amulets of Fury. Those things are still worth 3 mil, and they're severely outclassed by the Occult, the Anguish, and the Torrent. Yeah, the Anguish, the Occult, and the Torment. They're not Torment. Good lord, what is wrong with me? Whatever, I can't remember at the moment. But it's outclassed by each one of those. But it's still valuable because it's an all-around very good item. Barrow's gloves are still all-around very good items. But if you know you're going into a task, like you're going into a Slayer task and you know you're using melee, or you're going to Bandos and you know you're an attacker, you're going to want to take these because it's better attack bonuses and better strength bonus. But I still think people are going to be upset that Barrow's gloves won't be considered best in slot for melee anymore. So I don't think those will pass. Dragon Hunter Lance I could see not passing as well, because people are like, well, melee is overpowered as it is, so let's just give them a Dragon Hunter crossbow but for melee as well, and then give the most overpowered combat style, an advantage, which I don't think is the most overpowered combat style by any means, because Dragon Hunter crossbow is fucking ridiculous at 4-cath, and so is Blowpipe, but whatever. Other than that, I could see everything else passing in here. Nothing else seems really too bad. All the boots seem fine. Slayer creatures seem fine. The fact that you can kill 2 different types of lizards if you decide to bring in the sulfur lizards is really nice. I like that addition. But yeah, and the new Slayer Master with the Area Slayer I do enjoy a lot. And finally, the farming guild. Yes, please bring this into the game. This is such a good idea. It's a good farming revitalization. The bottomless compost bucket. I could see a world where it doesn't get into the game, but I don't really understand that world. There's no real... That would really just be a quality of life thing. Let me see. I want to see if it's untradeable again. Okay, it doesn't say it's untradeable. So, I mean, I don't really see there being a problem with it. There was what was it called? It was like it never ran out of water watering can in RS3, and I didn't really see a problem with that either. So I could see a bottomless compost bucket, and the fact that this isn't actually infinite, you do have to charge it, I think is what makes this completely fine. It's purely just like a quality of life thing. Everything else I like about this. The only thing that's got me a little sketched out is the anima patches. I don't know how people are going to feel about that. It's the only thing I could really see people not really being on board with. Just because it's like, oh, it's an extra benefit, it's easy escape, whatever. I don't see a problem with it that much, but I could see it not passing. As well as the Celestris patch, just because you can make your own battle staves, but again, I don't really see that being an issue. Yeah, those are my thoughts, guys. So I hope you did enjoy this video. There's a lot of stuff here. Again, we're looking at like another 30-minute video. Jesus Christ. There's a lot of info here. I'm excited. I'm really excited for the Kebos Lowlands and Warding. I think they would both be very good additions to the game. Again, with some minor tweaks here and there, I think they both have a place in the game. They both feel like things that have been needed. Warding obviously being the most argumentative of that, but whatever. Skills are useless after a certain point anyway, so it's whatever. Yeah, that's going to do it for me, though. So if you did like the video, go ahead and like it. If you want to see more of my content, subscribe, hit the bell, ring my bell, ring my bell. And yeah, also comment if you want to give me hate mail, or you want to tell me how terrible I am, or how disgusting I am, or the fact that I'm a really cool guy. All that is super Gucci. Yeah, thank you guys for thank you guys for watching. Have a good night, evening, morning, afternoon, mid lunch, second lunch, whatever. I'm out of here. Adios.